Here's what I thought was interesting. Kirsten and Shaq said they went to church and went to God over their relationship. They getting worse. Jasmine and Eris went to a psychic.
Oh my. Oh, they did. I forgot.
Got their cards read. And now they in the bed playing footsie. What's going on here? What is really going on here? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Relax, Relate, Debrief. I'm your older sister, Nikki.
I'm the younger sister, Jackie.
And you know what time it is. So listen, if it's your first time to our channel, listen, you're in for a good time. We're two real life sisters that just get together and chat and chew. Well, we don't chew anything, but we chat.
I do have my tea.
Yeah, some of us sip while other of us just have it.
The
Right.
spoon and the honey melts in the tea.
It's cute. So listen, make sure you subscribe to our channel. If you're new, please stop by and subscribe. And while you are, if you are already a subscriber, go ahead and click that like button. Yes, we need you to give us a thumbs up and a like. So please subscribe and like the channel. Follow us so you can make sure you're getting the notifications. Make sure your notifications are on because we are dropping videos. We right now are reviewing Married at First Sight season 16. It is a wrap. They are wrapping up. And we're going to be wrapping up this session or this section of our podcast. And going to be moving into some exciting things, especially on next week. I want you to tune in on next week because we are going to be doing a Mother's Day special. We're actually going to release it on Sunday instead of Monday. But hey, listen, if we understand if you're spending time with your mothers and you may not have time on Sunday, please make sure you watch it on Monday. It will be up and available for you. We have a special guest that we're going to have on the show. And so I want everybody to, join. Please, please, please make sure you watch and you subscribe and you share.
Yes.
Now that we got all the things out of the way, let's move in to this last episode of Married at First Sight.
Wait, before we move into that, just because this will be another quick episode because it's Married at First Sight. Mm-hmm. Did you see the interview with Ebony K. Williams and Iyanla Vanzant?
I saw the part where she says she was not. Yeah, I seen the interview. Didn't read too much into it.
So, Iyanla, she talked about trying to date in this climate. That's a good word. I was going to say economy. Then I was like, everything's a problem. But trying to date currently. And Iyanla asked her, would you date a bus driver? So I would like to ask you.
Because I don't need nobody asking me any questions. Here's my thing.
Did you agree? Okay, she also came back and provided more on how she felt. So go ahead. You said, here's your thing. Go ahead.
My thing is, we as a society are always telling women that they need to lower their standards. Their list is too long. Their expectations are not realistic. These men are only make X amount of dollars and da-da-da. I think in my 20s, in my early 30s, if I met somebody who was a bus driver, good personality, had some goals more than just being a bus driver, so maybe bus driver is one of his incomes, in the climate in which we live in the economy in which we live in, we need more. I need more than just a bus driver salary. Now, my thing is Iyanla is much older than Ebony K. Williams. Iyanla's already been married, so I could see her being okay with being with a bus driver because again, that's her preference and that's what she prefers. I didn't hear Ebony's reasons as far as trying to justify what she said. I didn't feel any type of way what she said. When she said if he owned the bus company, I kind of was with her. Like, yeah, sure, if he owned the bus company. Of course, maybe at one time he may have been the bus driver, but if he came into his own and he decided that, you know, he wanted to do more than just being a bus driver, I'm with it. But I feel like at my age, I'm not looking for somebody who's just a bus driver.
So I think that, which is Ebony's point. Oh, it's on my Band-Aid.
Girl, go ahead with your cracked nails.
I broke another nail. I think I told myself, use your left hand, and showed off my Band-Aid. I think, let me ask you this.
You asked a lot of questions.
Ebony K. Williams. Okay, so here's my question, and it's a little bit more along the lines of where Iyanla was coming from. You say, I don't want him to have a bus driver salary. And I saw in the comments, and I don't know much truth to this because I don't know many bus drivers personally, but I saw in the comments that people were like, yeah, because like so-and-so drives a bus and they make like however much money. So if he's making decent money and he's happy being a bus driver, which I think was Iyanla's point that she was trying to bring Ebony to, is that still a problem?
I don't have a problem with what anyone wants to do with their life and where they're at. Mm-hmm. I have a problem with people, again, as I stated before, making people feel bad because they want more. Mm-hmm. So if he's satisfied in his job, sure. I don't think that what I do agree with Iyanla is that, you know, that can't be your only motivation for someone. Just like physical looks to me aren't the only motivation. You know, what is the total package of the person? What's your heart like? You know, do you love God? Do you have a real relationship? For me, this is for me. Okay, for anybody that's watching, I'm not saying for you. I'm saying for me specifically. You know, there are. What'd you say? Just in case somebody might look at it and say, mm-hmm.
You said for me specifically, I said, you want a bishop. That's fine.
I did not want a bishop. No, I'm not saying that, right? But I'm also not closing my mind to be like, no, that's not the person. We want to know what somebody makes and what they do or whatever, but I feel like that's all a part of the conversation. Somebody might introduce you and you might not know they're a bus driver till a date or two in. You know what I mean? Or, you know, so
people, that's a turnoff to them. Oh, you drive a bus?
It could be a turnoff, but you could have gotten to like really know the person a little bit more than if I led with, you know, I'm a bus driver, right? Okay, so what does that look like? You know what I mean? And I think it's just more than a conversation than saying like they're a bus driver. This is their salary. But what does the conversation look like? Do our goals align? Do what we want in a relationship, in a marriage, does that align? And if it does, move forward. And if it doesn't, it's okay. You know, if we get to the part where bus driver, the salary isn't what we anticipated, and then there's some other things along the line too that go with it. Again, that's a personal preference that people have. Nobody should be shamed about it. The bus driver shouldn't be shamed because that's what they want to do, and that's the profession that they chose, and they have a right to pursue whoever they want to pursue. Okay. Now, asking you the question.
I don't care about the Band-Aid.
Because I know I tried to send you a bishop, but did I? So go ahead.
Go ahead, what? Oh, my thoughts?
Yes, your thoughts.
I think that there was a guy, I forgot his name, that responded. And I thought that his response was exactly more so the lines of what I was thinking. And I think that there is, oh Lord, help us in this date pool. in this whole date. I got another oversized Nike outfit. If y'all are interested, these are at Nordstrom. So I think that one of the things, you're not interested in a Nike, imagine Nike outfit.
No. No.
And I was gonna get you one.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you got it.
I think that his response was right along the lines, and some of it was also along the lines of what you were saying. I don't think that someone should be immediately discredited for being a bus driver. Mm-hmm. And I also heard too, I find this to be true. Realistically, you're gonna be with somebody that's that will be found in the places that you're found.
Right. So
this individual, but I don't want to talk about her because she is someone who has an established career. She was on the Housewives of New York before. Like she has like an established career. I don't really know how much she would be in the company of a bus driver. If she was in the company of a bus driver, to Iyanla's point, that was happy with his job, that was making money, that could do all of the things that you want to do, then I don't think it should be an immediate, oh my God, no.
Right. Agreed.
But I do think that people have the right to decide that if you are somewhere in life and they are however many levels above you, they have the right to decide whether or not that's going to work for them or not. And so I just feel like if she felt like a bus driver is not going to work for her, that's okay. I just think that maybe because she immediately said it like, if he owned the bus, I think maybe that's what made it become a headline and, made it interesting. But I also do agree too that it's enough of telling someone that they have to lower their standards or they have to, do all of these things just to make sure that, when the bus driver comes and he's making $50,000 a year, that you have to accept that and stop having these high standards. And so I'm just like, well, that may not necessarily work for somebody who's worked so hard to be somewhere that they are. Right. And there are examples of people who held their dude down. Elon Musk's wife is one of them. And look where he is with Tesla. I think that is, Tesla. So I immediately caught that. But I think that is a testament to them being in their 20s and her being able to ride that ride. When you hit a certain age, sometimes you don't really, you don't have a desire to be on the struggle bus and ride that ride with somebody because like, what's the goal here? Right. And the thing that mommy always told us was, make sure that the dude got a goal, that he's going somewhere, that he's got something that he's trying to accomplish and do in life. If you have accomplished a lot as a bus driver to like where you're, to where you have all of these accomplishments and you are happy doing it and you are making excellent money doing it and you stand 10 toes in what you're doing, I think that's great. And then also too, like, what are your goals? What are you pushing for? What are you going for? So I think that it's more questions, and I think that maybe just phrasing that to her, would you drive a bus driver, maybe wasn't the best phrase of questioning. And then if I was asked that, like, let's say I like Iyanla Vanzant, but let's say she was interviewing, her and I were doing an interview on Relax, Relate to Brief podcast. And she asked me that, I would say I have more questions than just, is he a bus driver though? Right. Before I say, if he owned it, I would say, well, I have more questions regarding if he's a bus driver, because to your point, I'm not trying to negate anybody doing anything that they're happy doing or that they want to do. But I'm also too not just trying to accept the bus driver because society's telling me that's the issue. You have too much that you're requiring. Right. And I feel like it's a knee-jerk reaction. Like sometimes, somebody says something, like you just snap and say something up like, nah, if he was a you know what I mean? But obviously if she's come out, and again, like I said, I didn't hear her explanations, but if she's come out and stated her reasons why, why she said what she said, but even Iyanla went on further in the conversation, will say, no, this is what I wouldn't mind because of X, Y, and Z. And my response would be, okay, I can understand where you're coming from because that's your particular preference. However, when I'm looking at a situation, this is how I see it. Well, it wasn't about her having a preference. It was about her. I can understand what Iyanla was trying to say. That that some people,
right, are so focused.
I guess that's the thing, are so focused on the wrong thing that you don't realize, like, if the man drives the bus and he is treating you well and he treats his mother well and he takes care of this and he takes care of that, if he does all of that, you can immediately just be like, I don't know, bus driver. There's much more to it than trying to put somebody in a box based off of their profession. I think was Iyanla's point. And I think that what she was trying to say was, in the current climate, as you put it, a lot of times we're quick to make decisions without having all of the facts, all of the nuggets.
Right.
We make it based off of one. And I think she was saying that that's what people have to stop doing, which I agreed with. I also agree with Ebony when when she went on the Breakfast Club, what she was explaining was, I'm not going to take down just to take down because y'all keep telling me to take down.
Right.
And I kind of agree with Ebony on that, because my whole thing is this: if I know what I know, if I have a promise from God, I'm not taking down.
Agreed.
So I kind of understood what Ebony was saying, that no. Because that's not what, that I don't know if Ebony was coming off from that spiritual aspect, but I'm just saying, right. I understood that part. But I just thought it was very interesting. I think it's a very interesting conversation.
It is a very interesting conversation. And you know what? I just thought, what just came to my mind was, I immediately went to a school bus driver when you said bus driver. I'm like, oh no, but there's New Jersey.
And Ebony probably did too, to be honest.
Right. But when I think, wait a minute, New Jersey Transit, they got unions, you know what I mean? Like, so you really don't know what that person has. And to Iyanla's point,
get all the nuggets. Yep.
You need all of the nuggets. And that's why I said, I can't just say, oh, just because, you know what I mean? Like I said, especially in our age, and well, okay, my age, your age, we around the same age, but
I'm being 3 years younger.
Okay, it doesn't matter. You're close in my age. Yeah, but I think especially in our age, like, if would you hold your dude down if he decided he wanted to switch his profession?
At this age, I'm not available. At this age.
I mean, if the roles were reversed, though. So if I'm now, take me. I'm a senior IT tech in healthcare.
Oh, I thought you were trying to sound like a senior. Now, come on, you and your girl.
I'm a senior tech in healthcare. I make good money. But we also know I have had a desire to become a physician. So, and I get with somebody, I get married. I'm like, hey, I kind of like want to pursue this, and I need your support in this. Okay. If I would want them to support me, you would have to be open, because it depends. Like, he may want to start his own business.
Okay. I'm going to say that. Let me go back. I'm going to rewind.
Rewind.
It's situational.
Right.
Because there are some people who are ready to, let me go back 2 steps. In a position where I can hold you down without any struggle, I'm not in a position for us to max out all 6 credit cards that we have. I'm not there. In my 20s, I probably would have. Right. If I'm honest, I probably would have been like, yeah, we're going after this dream. We're going after this. I like that. I like the goal to go get her. I'm ready. I'm with you. We want to put that on this credit card. All this is that and the other. I am 2 years from 40. Let's be very clear. October, I'll be 39.
Right.
I can't be maxing out 6 credit cards right now. That's not where I'm at. But I'm on my way to wealth this year. Okay, I'm not gonna get too much into that. So if I am in a position where he comes and he's like, I've always wanted to be a doctor, go to law school. I mean, med school.
Okay, sweetie. Let's first of all, time out. If he wants to be a doctor, we need him to go to med school, not law school.
First of all, honey, go to the right school.
Go to law school. No, you need to go to school, period. I'm talking about you, Jackie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I was a little bit of an attack. That's fine.
Love you.
You told me I need to go to school.
It happens. God.
School's not my thing. But if if that's the case, now I probably will. Also, too, like, you know, I think if you were to come to your husband and he is in a position to hold you down to do that, I also think that there would be a plan.
Right.
Things that I listen to when I listen to couples that had to make big moves and they weren't even necessarily in the financial space to do it, their spouse brought to them a plan.
Yes.
So I watched Ty Tribbett and his wife do an interview with Melissa and Kevin Fredericks, and they talked they talked about when Ty had a plan. So what happened was, and again, at this point, they're in their teens, 20s.
Right.
Particularly Ty and Shantae. I believe she was 19, maybe like 20, 21. 22, 23, around there. So what happens is she's working at a bakery. She loves, you know, working at the bakery. And Ty has his dreams of music and wanting to get that started and get that going and all that he knows that's going to come with that. And so there was a time where she had to work. And so she was supposed to go to work. She was also singing in the group with him. And her boss told her, like, no, you're not gonna be taking off to go running around singing with your husband. If you go, if you need to be off again, you understand, I'm trying to set you up for success. Eventually have a bakery, all of this stuff. So you running around doing all of that with him, you know, you're gonna have to make a decision. She went home. She told Ty the conversation that her boss had with her. He wrote out a plan that he presented to God and he presented to her. And he told her, if you don't go to work and you do this gig with me, you'll never have to work another day in your life. And when he was saying it to God too. He wrote out a plan. She didn't go. That next gig was Sesame Street. And if you are into gospel music, you know Ty Tribbett.
Absolutely.
Today. And she confirmed she has never worked another day in her life. She hasn't worked in over 20-something years.
Look at God.
Since he said that. But he wasn't just coming with the fluff.
Right.
We're in a different, I can't get too far now because we got to review Married at First Sight. And Melissa and Kevin kind of had the same story. He had put it in one of those cake holders, the plan. I want to go to California. I want to get there. And this is the plan.
The plan.
Maybe they was just in Dubai having the trip of a lifetime. And I mean, without any care.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just like, but having a plan and going after it is way different than, you know, you coming up and being like, well, you're supposed to hold me down. What are you doing?
Right. Agreed.
That's why I wanted to backtrack that.
Agreed. And it's actually right. What's the plan? It's nice to have an idea. It's nice to have a dream.
Right.
What's the plan to get there? And if there's no plan, this can't be you wake up one day and one morning and I feel like this, I feel like that, you floating and you don't have nothing in place. Then no, it doesn't make sense to me. You know, so like you said, I would have to come up with a plan. It's no way in the world that I would put all of this, all of a sudden burn it on this person to be like, because this is what I want to pursue my dream and I'm going to have to do it and you hold me down. No. It's a partnership and we have to come together and have to present the plan and we have to put the plan together. So even if I come and you might say, okay, well, let's change a few things here because this is what I'll have to do. And then as we plan it together, then we walk it out.
And I believe if you came to him with that, he would be more than happy to hold you down. And it's the same thing with me.
Right. And vice versa. So if he came to me,
I'd be more than happy.
I'll be more than happy to
and I'm going to hold my position as your wife and I'm going to push you because we're going to do this. I'm going to step in, do whatever I need to do. And I'm going to push you. You're going to do it. And you're, same thing. So
absolutely same thing. So all of these things, this conversation is very good. And as we move and transition into Married at First Sight, because we are only going to have a few moments of that,
nobody got a plan on this show.
Exactly. Nobody got a plan. Nobody got a vision. Everybody is just, which is another thing. I'm glad we had the discussion prior to, because when we're looking at this show and reviewing the show, you're really looking at it like, this is why you don't go run into the altar with somebody you don't know. This is why you don't show up and say, oh, I want to be married, because you want to be married. Like I have the desire to be married. I don't have the desire to marry somebody at first sight. I have the desire to know the person, to have a relationship with them before I move down the aisle with them. Because that's just the natural order of things if we do it. But because, we're in this world of reality TV and society, we instantaneously marry. Boom. First couple we're going to get into to talk about that is Chris and Nicole.
I'll wait. You can go. I'll wait because every time it's mentioned, I immediately get upset. So
I see. This is the thing that I want to say about Chris. He's not being honest. You are bothered by the fact that she does not have much control over her emotions.
Mm-hmm.
That she's constantly putting herself down. And I don't like the fact that when, I don't know if it was his friend, a brother, whoever, a cousin, whoever related to him, asked him, what do you see as being an issue or potential this marriage not working?
Mm-hmm.
And to me, he kind of danced around the question. Well, I always tell her about, stop getting down on yourself and blah, blah, blah. No, your answer should have been straight out. Mm-hmm. If she does not get herself together and stop always downing, stop always doubting, stop having these negative feelings, that's what's going to destroy the marriage. My second problem with him is also too, you're not even having real conversations beyond decision day. Mm-hmm. Where do she keep asking y'all where y'all gonna live? This man, beyond where we're gonna live, that can be a topic of discussion, but is this something that you really want beyond decision day? Because mm-hmm. you had to have something in your mind, because it doesn't make sense to have started something with somebody and be like, we're gonna live in separate homes. That's not mm-hmm. a thing. Mm-hmm. Y'all are married now. You signed up for this experiment, so be all in the experiment. Another thing.
Wow.
Nicole around here talking about safe word pineapples. She had the nerve to say, I don't even know where I got that word pineapple from. Only to come back to your apartment and it's pineapples all over the apartment.
Furthermore, she saw Kevin Hart's special. I don't care what you say.
I don't care about that. My thing is, you have a whole apartment full of pineapples. Mm-hmm. You say the pineapples came out of nowhere. What is wrong with you? It did not come out of, you're looking at pineapples every day, sis.
Well, wait, reenact how she did it. Let's come up with a safe word, and I don't even know one. Pineapples just come out. Like, that's how fast she came up with pineapple. That's how fast she came up with it.
Mm-hmm. And then Chris decided, like, let's stop the word pineapples and get all this stuff out of here. Y'all almost moving out, bro. Like, you should have been said something if she brought this to you. Again, I get holding your partner accountable. She requires too much accountability. A safe word. When you say pineapples, I know I'm doing too much. No. When I say, Nicole, you're doing too much, you're doing too much. I don't have you in a chokehold. I'm not holding you down. We're adults. You're doing too much. Bring it in.
Okay. Not a chokehold.
I'm done.
Yeah. I think you covered everything. I think you covered everything. I still find Nicole to be, hold on, I wrote some notes, so let me just make sure.
Look at them.
Because I was watching it late and I was half asleep, half watching. I was like, let me write some notes because okay. No, I think you touched on everything. I was going to say that Nicole knows she saw a Kevin Hart special. I also want her to realize that we don't need you to keep telling us that you can be a lot. We've already seen it. We have deemed you a lot, and we also deemed you single at this point. I'll say I've deemed you single at this point. You need to remain single.
Right. Agreed.
And I don't have much on them. Nicole is someone who definitely gets under my, I almost can't watch her for too much on there. I also like when they came back from the retreat, they were talking about, this is something that fascinated me. All the couples talking about all the other couples. Everybody needs to stop.
Can't see that beam in your own eye.
Y'all all need help. Y'all all need help. How you come home talking about any other couple and y'all are owned by a string and a thread? And Nicole being like,
a fry and a nugget.
And Nicole was like, yeah, we talk about the other couples. Let's talk about us. Let's not, Nicole. You're extremely annoying. I agree with you 100%. Chris is going to have to get honest, because if not, it's going to be about 4 or 5 years down the road. Chris going to let her go. And it's going to need to be for his own sanity. If she doesn't stop acting like that, he's going to have to let her go for his own sanity. Any man would have to. You would have to let her go for her own sanity. And one thing I want negative people to understand, I think I've talked about this before. When you are extremely negative about everything, you have to understand how draining you are. Mm-hmm. You have to everything can't be a problem. Everything can't be. You have to understand it is so draining to the other person, because it's like, it's just no sunshine. It's just nothing. You don't have anything positive. You don't have no faith. Everything cannot be a problem. And the fact that she wanted somebody to hand her some type of gold star for the way that she handled her stuff at mini golf, I'll say what I said last week. Chris needs to move on.
Agree. That's all. Deuces to the both of them. Moving along to the next couple, Gina and Clint. Goodbye.
Well, I want to say this.
In my closing argument, goodbye. Go ahead.
I actually, oh man, I sided with Gina. When the only thing I didn't side with was,
how, Sway?
Because, okay.
Now put the cup up and talk about why.
I'm washing down the tea. I had to drink this, I'm washing down the tea. When she sat down with the experts, let me tell you what happened with Gina too. Gina is sick of, because here come little Dr. Pepper. And Dr. Pepper went from 5 foot to now 4'4". Mm-hmm. So if any doctor can talk to her about what's going on, she is so short. I told y'all to watch a movie. Y'all ain't doing nothing that we telling y'all to do.
Agreed.
And Gina's face, Gina was over there like, and I said, she is so irritated with these experts, because they keep telling them, we are not past the friendship zone. And to be honest with you, we don't see ourselves getting past it. To me, Gina's face was irritated. When Gina finally went off, I agreed with her. She was like, I'm not in a position to feel like a wife. I have a husband who's actually not attracted to me. The man doesn't even pursue me. He doesn't do anything. And this, that, and the other. And Clint took accountability. Here's the issue that I have with Gina. You know that Clint probably has some reservations because of what happened back in the beginning. So there is a level of welcoming that he needs. And I kind of wish that Clint would have said, have you provided me the space to come in and do the things that you're requiring? But all of the things that he's not doing, and Clint admitted that he does not do, let me know that, number one, that what she was saying was, this is why we are where we are, and we're not getting past here. This is it. And she was frustrated with the experts, but she told them the truth. Stop coming in here like we're going to say yes on decision day and we're going to live happily ever after. We're not. We each have attraction issues with each other. There's no movie that's going to help that. There's no little fake thing that you put outside the door that's going to help that. This is what it is. And then on top of that, oh, well, Clint be cooking. Clint cooks for himself. I was like, oh.
That's a lie.
No, I believe her.
Nah, because too many other couples have said he'd be cooking for her. So that's a lie.
I don't think he'd be cooking for her. I believe Clint cooks for himself. I 100% agree that Clint sees, she even said it. She said he'll see a recipe or he'll see something that he wants to try, and that's what he's going to cook. Oh. He doesn't look at it like, oh, Gina loves mushrooms. I'm going to fry this oyster mushroom and make it, I've been into oyster mushrooms lately. We'll get into that later. But did I send you the video?
No.
Oh, I think I sent it to mommy. I'm going to send it to you. So, Gina was like, no, he's making it's all Clint driven. And Clint was over there so dumbfounded and so upset. Because the reality of it, I don't necessarily blame Clint, but the reality of it is that it was true. It was true. And so I agreed and I understood what Gina was saying, because as a woman, but to me, it didn't matter if Clint did all of that. I don't know that you would have changed your position, Gina. And I wish that Clint would have said that to her. Had I done all of that, knowing the history from the beginning till now, would you have changed your position from how you're sitting here today? And he couldn't, because he was a little blindsided that she brought all of that up in front of the experts. But I understood everything that Gina said. I understood.
I disagree. I disagree with what she said. At the end of the day, if you guys want to keep talking about y'all friends, then say you want a divorce. Why are you waiting for decision day? If you're not going to use the tools in which you've been given for to make the proper decisions, to actually walk through and do some of the things, everything that they gave you, y'all did it halfway, both of y'all.
Dr. Pepper got them because they was like, well, there's time and all of this. She said, I bet you if I told you I had $3,000 for you.
And she wasn't lying. Y'all make a way to do that. So my thing is, you getting mad at the or getting frustrated at the experts makes no sense to me. Be frustrated at yourself, because if you saying y'all friend zone weeks ago, then guess what? Weeks ago you should have said, I'm out. We're only at the friend level. We don't see it making past that.
Right, but I think that they're sticking it out for maybe like contract sake or whatever.
Ain't no contract sake, because Dom and Kinley bounced.
They did, but everybody doesn't have that. Some people want more out of reality TV. If it's not going to work, it's not going to work, but I'm at least going to get my few seconds of fame. And I think that she got frustrated because she was like, y'all come in here and we sit here and we tell you the same thing. It's not changing. And I agree with her. And it's not changing. Clint and Gina have been friends since week 2. They made up for that fight in the honeymoon, and they're gonna remain friends. Unless y'all kick us off the show, we're here to show you how 2 friends can come out. And stop making it seem like this is that and the other. When we've been telling you this. And I think that the experts should say, like, if everybody's going to be honest, I think that the experts should say, well, it sounds like y'all have already made your decision up, so there's nothing else for us to do here. So we're not going to keep coming back. We're not going to keep doing this, that, and the other, because it doesn't matter what we say or what we do. Neither one of you are going to exercise it to move forward in what's a marriage. So there's nothing else for us to do. You've already made your decision, and good luck in the future with continuing to make the decisions that you've been making. Everybody could have said something in that moment, because
goodbye. Next couple. moving along.
Yes, I understood Gina for the first and probably only time.
Okay, thank you. Next couple we're gonna get into is Shaquille and Kirsten.
Okay.
Your thoughts?
When you don't answer Shaq how with the answer that he wants to hear, he's gonna keep going until you give him an answer that he wants to hear. It doesn't have to necessarily be the truth, but he's already made up his mind with how he feels about something. And so he wants you to give him, Shaquille wants you to give him the answer that he wants to give. And until you say exactly what it is that he wants you to say, he's not going to accept what you say. He's going to keep going. Everything's going to be a problem. She tried to explain to him why her family had not been around. Even a part of it did sound like, some crap or whatever. And so that was her answer in the moment. Shaquille did not accept that, but that's not the only time. Shaquille consistently, if he doesn't accept it, he'll be like, but no, and he'll do all of that. And it's like, he wants you to give him the answer that he wants to hear. And he let her know, like, well, I think it's kind of weird, that your family hasn't been around, this, that, and the other. And Kirsten should have told the truth. She hasn't invited her family around. Yes, they have work and they have schedules and all of that, but she hasn't really invited them around. And then when she did, she only invited her brother and her mother. She's holding him back from her dad. Like, and she needs to dive into that more and give him more answers on that. But Shaq, when you don't say what he wants to say, he be checked out. So, I don't know. But yeah, that's what I wrote down for Shaq. And I also was proud of production, because Kirsten was trying to explain herself, and Shaq always makes it seem like Kirsten is honestly asking for too much in regards to their connection. And so she turned around and was like, you know, honestly, I need to feel more like wanted by you, that you even like me. Like sometimes you do this, sometimes you do that. And we're just kind of just sitting there, like not really sure where like this is like really coming from. But when production rolled it back, I was like, oh, okay. Because I'm not trying to get married to nobody that comes in and always wants to be short and curt with me. No thanks. And if she's telling you that she, like, I require a little bit more from you. And to me, Shaq is very up and down anyway.
They're not going to make it. Both going to say no on decision day. It's too much back and forth. It's too much. We don't communicate. We don't. We talk to my family all the time. I don't talk to your family. Not a realistic reason why your family has been over when it could have just been shut down with, I haven't invited them over because X, Y, and Z. That's it. It doesn't matter whether he agreed with the reason or not, whether he understood it or not. At least he wouldn't have been like, well, that sounds suspicious. Like, they just ain't come over. Like, so it just wasn't important to meet me. Like, she left it open-ended, although she didn't say that. She just made it seem like everybody's busy, so nobody's been able to come over. Not that you haven't asked somebody to come over. That was your first time asking them to come over.
The mom did come over in her uniform. It looked like she came right from work.
No, yeah, I'm saying the mom came over. I thought she gave some really good advice, and I like that she said one particular thing was that love grows from living, not expecting. She told them both, your expectations are too much. Neither one of you will ever live up to the expectation of the other one, because y'all have just too much of an expectation from each other, and you don't even know. Like, this part of the process is to get to know the person, because you don't know them. So when you have an expectation that's all the way up here, you shouldn't be able to read my mind. You should know that I'm not comfortable. You should know that I want to talk. You should know all these things, and you're not speaking them. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, she said that she wanted to have conversations, but how much did you say? Well, I'm tired of every time you come into this house, you sit here. I would have given him examples. I asked you a question yesterday. You came in here and sat there and didn't say but 2 words to me. I said this and that to you. You didn't say 2 words. When we're in front of the experts, I would do the exact same thing. So production wouldn't have to run the tape back. If they wanted to, they could. But every time
in front of the experts.
No, I'm saying I would run it down detail to detail, because that's what he needed.
You should be doing that in front of the experts.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, and every time she brought it up that it was an issue, whether it was off camera or not, she needed to be going into specific detail. So yesterday I asked you X, Y, and Z, or yesterday you came home, you did X, Y, and Z. You didn't have a conversation. You didn't have 2 words from me. So I don't understand how you expect us to move forward in a relationship when you can't properly communicate.
It's going to have to be on tax terms.
It's not, I'm not saying, but those are the things that I feel like you bring to the forefront. You want to go back and tell your mother, I'm not meeting your need, or I didn't do X, Y, and Z, but you relaying to her, this is what you're doing, X, Y, and Z. So how is your expectation of me? So how am I supposed to meet your expectation when you're not even meeting mine? You're not even meeting me halfway. I get sometimes, depending on his job, sometimes you might not want to come in the house talking. Okay. So you might say, I need a minute. Because some people are like that. They just need especially, if you're somebody that's up and down, it's just like, it's been a lot. It's overwhelming. I had to deal with kids. I had to deal with school of my own self. So I just have a lot on my mind. And sometimes it's not easy for people to unload those things and move into the next part of their life. That's fine. That's okay. Say that. Help me help you. I can't help you if you don't. Now y'all not touching. Y'all don't really hug. Y'all don't really have any type of intimacy. All of that is now out the window because y'all don't know how to communicate. That makes no sense. Y'all are 2 grown adults.
I thought that was weird though, because when she came home from work, he gave her a hug and a kiss. So I don't know, but also the cameras were there, so
it could be. But that's so I don't, like I said, like I've been saying from the beginning up until now, they ain't gonna make it.
I think they're absolutely going to say yes on decision day, but I don't see them making it long term. But I absolutely think they're going to say yes on decision day.
I couldn't be expert because
when they got dressed to go to church, I thought they were going to church.
Y'all playing in the church. Y'all playing. I said, where's the people? Where's the pastor? It's not even nobody. The pastor even come over and talk.
They just went to go sit in an empty church, and I was like,
It might be that church and the pastor opted for them not to record the actual service, but allowed them to go to the church to say, we came here for service. This is where we're at, and then discuss some things.
Oh, and they let them stay after and record.
Stay after or come in prior to, but nobody wanted to be.
They would have been like, "Oh, that service was good. Give us something."
But maybe they came prior to service.
Or maybe that could be because they didn't like, no, you can't record. Because some churches, like, no, we're not doing the whole reality show. We here for it. So.
Right.
I was like, when they were sitting in that church by themselves, I was like, I know they didn't get dressed to just go sit in the church. I was like, no way. But I think they're gonna say yes. I just don't know how far after yes is gonna go.
Yeah, I don't recommend it. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't recommend it.
And so, Shaquille, I want Shaquille to know that it's like some of his feelings are valid, but Shaquille is a little bit of a roller coaster emotionally.
Yeah. So I mean, and he's admitted that though. He said that, he's a pretty emotional guy. So
it's up and down. You're not really sure what you're gonna get with Shaq. Right. And that's how I felt when production rolled it back. I was like,
And I actually would have said that. If I was Kirsten, I would have said, I don't know what I'm getting with him. One day he'll come in here and he'll be nice, he'll hug me. Next day he might not come and say 2 words to me. So it's difficult.
She needs to be saying that in front of the experts. I came home the other day, he was cooking pancakes and hugging me. The next day I was trying to make him something and he was like, I'm fine. And walked out of frame. Never came back.
Not walked out of frame.
That's fair. Yeah, I do think she should be saying that because I'm like, oh, Kirsten's dealing with a little diva.
Not a diva. Last couple we're gonna get into is Jasmine and Eris. Your thoughts?
I don't know where Eris. I feel like Eris is trying to play us. Because if you look at Eris now, it's like, oh my goodness, look at him showing interest and being involved and giving her a foot rub. I was so disappointed in both of their feet, but I was like,
not in their feet, girl.
Like the camera is there. I'd have been like, hold on, let me lotion my feet real quick. And the camera was like zooming in on both of their feet. What is the cameraman
Nobody
doing?
lotioned that day.
Nobody had lotioned their feet. Get the camera off my feet like that. I just feel like Eris is trying to play us a little bit because I don't know where, I don't know. And maybe it's because I just can't pinpoint where he would have had this change. I feel like Eris is like, we almost to the end. Let me just try so I can just tell her I did try. It's a no. That's what I feel like Eris is going to do.
I don't think so.
But Eris is showing up and trying to be different and trying to, pretend like he's at least trying. But we're literally in the last week and he's trying. So that's interesting.
Here's what I thought was interesting. Kirsten and Shaq said they went to church and went to God over their relationship. They getting worse. Jasmine and Eris went to a psychic.
Oh my! Oh, they did. I forgot.
Their cards read, and now they in the bed playing footsie. What's going on here? What is really going on here? I know God got power. Ain't no way in the world.
Kirsten and Shaq went to church. It got worse.
I'm like, what did y'all do in church? Y'all talking about I need Jesus. Did y'all talk to the Lord? Like, what happened?
Oh Lord, that's
yes,
funny.
We're in the last their last a couple days together. They seem to have made a nice turn into like at least showing interest coming from both of them. So it's not just one-sided. Maybe Eris is taking the advice of that he's received as far as opening up and not being so like just surface level. And because Jasmine has somewhat leaned into what he's saying or how he's treating her, he's getting, to see more of a softer side of her where she was actually kind of turning and like, yeah, this ain't for me. I don't want him, whatever. We won't know until decision day, whether they'll say yes or no, whether they will move forward and even after decision day, maybe they might say yes on decision day, cameras go off and they haven't progressed and they just can't, say, no, it's not for us. But I've been saying to me, and I just don't think that they're going to make it. I do feel like he has a lot of growing up to do, as far as like, just like we talked in the beginning, right? Not just being so focused on the aspect of how this person looks, your physical attraction to them, but he is well aware of everything that she brings to the table. So she's just not someone that's just sitting around. So he's well aware of everything that she's brought to the table. And he actually has been saying that since the beginning.
Yep.
He's been moving his lips, but I don't know if he's been digesting it. And maybe now he's starting to digest what he's saying.
Okay. Yep. And the medium that they went to did say that he has a lot of,
I can't with the medium.
She said he has some growing up to do. She was saying so much that I was like, what is she guessing? Let me see real quick. It's like a mother figure. Who was that? Your grandma got to be dead. No, I'm just kidding. And also when she kept going, he really does wish you well. I was like,
I know. I was like, okay,
that you sending on their way. I wish you well. And I said, okay, that's what I'm talking about. I don't think Eris is a bad person, but in his mind, I think he like, no, I really want, Jasmine to
be with somebody that's going to want to be with her
after this. Yeah, I really think I don't think he's a bad person, but he's like, I want her to succeed after this. I really wish her well. I was like, wish you well. Okay. I was like, that's what you tell somebody that you're seeing off, but okay.
He's like, you're simply the best.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, okay. Because she made like one reference to their connection. It was a lot of like reference about them individually. I was like, they're not gonna.
I'm like, it's off, man. Y'all go ahead and walk out. Go ahead and walk out, because this ain't it.
Wasn't it? So. But yeah, I was just like, okay. When she said that was funny though. Kirsten and Shaq church, Nicky and worse.
And then you got these two sit up here playing.
Yeah, they was. Did she give him a foot massage? Mm-hmm. Would you be giving your husband a foot massage?
Well, that's not about me. It was the law of reciprocation for them too. That's what they did. So
right, but I'm just saying, if your husband,
I won't know what I'll do until I'm actually in the position. We'll leave it at that.
Oh, okay. I don't think I'm giving out foot massage. So pretty. And I could shock myself, but as it stands today, I don't know about giving out foot massages.
Lord help us.
But yeah, they were laughing and talking, and so we'll see. I just feel like Eris is just doing it because he's come to the end, and he's just going to show like, I did try, but I wish you well.
Well, we shall see. They're going to drag it out. I mean, they're 7 days in, so they're going to drag it out. But like,
for what? 7 days in for what? I thought next week was going to be decision day. I saw the
preview. No, they're going to drag it out.
Oh my gosh! First of all,
so on next week though, we won't. It'll be up about the Mother's Day special. So we won't be discussing Married at First Sight. We'll actually be on vacation that following week, and so when we come back, we will hopefully Married at First Sight will have concluded, and we will conclude that. Talk about it.
We'll conclude it, hopefully. But I know next week, what is his name? McKinley slid into his DMs, and Jasmine is getting pushed up on by a whole other dude who looking like he could be Eris's brother.
So we shall see. Going on. That's why I said they dragging it out. Like it's 7 days left, and we're not.
The dude said to her like, "Oh, let's get out of here." I'm like, come on. He see these cameras, like what I'm talking about. Let's get. I'm like, he's bold. You on camera, you bold. But I didn't see where Eris was at all. I don't know. I don't know if they was out with the girls or what.
I don't know. You know how they edit stuff and they chop stuff.
Yeah, it's so edited. I didn't see anything. Like they didn't even show like a reaction from him. So right. I don't know. But my skin is so dry. I don't know. But I was like, oh, let this, and then just so you know. She was like, yeah, I like the attention. I was like, hell, Jasmine, you just got a foot massage. Just wait till decision day. Don't be messy.
She can be messy.
I don't know. And Kirsten and Shaq still aren't communicating, so Well, they feel like they're
same old 365 days in a year.
They feel like, oh, the other thing was when they were in the bed and Jasmine and Eris got in the bed, and he was like, "What do you need from me?" And she
same old.
They are literally repeating the same exact thing. I think that's coming from production.
It's not.
But they are literally saying the same exact thing.
It's not. But the repetitiveness.
Like they're not even switching up the words. It's the same exact thing. I'm like, what is going on here? Do they don't know that they said it?
They know it. They know.
Just, I need you to keep providing me with a safe space. What? Yeah, I don't know.
Just safe space. Sorry. Not here.
No, not here. But yeah, next week just looks interesting. But I would love for them to get to decision day and just wrap this up.
Yep.
So it's the week after next that they're gonna wrap it up?
Don't know.
I
a whole another episode. No, I'm just saying I know that they tend to get to the last minute and the last couple of days and kind of drag them out. So it might not be until the end of the month.
Yeah. Oh, well, like you said, that would be when we came back.
Right. So I said, so by that time, prayerfully, y'all, they done wrapped it up.
Wow. Okay.
But if not, we'll be back though, talking, relax, relate, and debriefing.
Make sure you subscribe. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Yes. Make sure you follow us. You can follow me, Nikki. Oh my gosh. On Instagram, Nicky D81.
And I am on Instagram and TikTok, Living, Learning, Lifestyle.
And you already know this is Relax, Relate, Debrief. You can check us on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. Please, y'all, like, subscribe, and share. Again, we appreciate all your support. And until next time, bye.